welcome to What Are You Reading, a podcast with the Public Library of Mount Vernon and Knox County. I'm Christy.
And I'm Katie.
And this month, we decided to pick books that have been turned into movies, or in Katie's case, kind of vice versa. So this month, I picked A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, because there have been so many adaptations and obviously performances of this since about the 1590s. So there was plenty to choose from as far as film versions. My favorite one, though, is the 1999 version starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Stanley Tucci infamously plays Robin, a Puck, and it's my favorite. What did you pick?
So I picked Argylle by Ellie Conway. I actually saw the movie in theaters. This is more of a companion than the movie. So it's kind of Argylle's origin story is in here.
That's really cool.
So yeah, and it's very along the lines of like we were talking, the TV series Castle, where the show came out and then the books by Richard Castle started coming out, and that's kind of what happened here. So we get Argylle's origin story, what brought him to working for the CIA.
Okay.
And I haven't quite finished it yet. It is a slower burn than what I'm used to. But it does have a lot of rich description and character development in it. It's very interesting because Argylle's parents were actually like drug smugglers.
Oh, wow.
And were in trouble with the American government, and then he ends up working for the American government. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, interesting stories. It also has connections with the Kingsman.
Oh, neat.
So, which is, it's hinted to at the end of the movie, and I just got to the part where that organization is mentioned in here as well.
That's really cool. I love those movies. So, yeah. And I did think that when I saw the trailer for the movie Argylle that it had, and I think that it was the same director or something.
Yes,
has a lot of similarities to Kingsman. So
the movie kind of doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's still very it's a fun like spy comedy kind of thing. This one doesn't really have doesn't have the comedy in it, but I can picture like the characters being who they are. There's one that what's his name? The character's name, he goes by Wyatt. That's his last name, I'm pretty sure. Who is played by John Cena.
Oh, fun.
So, and he's kind of he's very antagonistic towards Argylle because, you know, his parents were who they were. Argylle did not know that when he was growing up. He found out later, like after his parents were dead. So, so it's kind of very much like the sins of the parents being visited on the son. And he's like, I just want to be in the world. So, things are starting to heat up. He's going on, where I'm at in the book is he's going on his first mission with his group, because it's like an elite spy group, and they're trying to steal a bracelet from a Russian diplomat's wife.
Ooh.
So we don't know why they need it.
Okay.
And there's also I believe it's a Chinese like spy ring that is what took out his parents.
Oh.
So there's like that going on as well.
Okay.
I think it's called Sam Gore. So
interesting.
Yeah. So lots of spy intrigue in this book. And like I said, rich characters, rich descriptions. If you're looking for like a Hollywood movie pacing, you're not going to get it here. But if you just want to like sit with it and kind of watch it unfold,
Would you recommend watching the movie first? Or now that the book is out, would you recommend reading the book first and then watching the movie?
I think either way would be fine. Although, because obviously Ellie Conway is the name of the character who plays the writer, who is the writer in the movie. So if you read the book first, you find out some things in the movie about Ellie Conway that might affect the way that you go towards this book. So, and I think her author picture is in shadow, so that kind of gives you the clue that, you know, Ellie Conway doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
But like even her dedication is like, for mom and dad, who have been beside me every step of the way. That and she has an introduction where she explains how she came to write Argylle.
Okay.
So it's up to you. It may, if you watch the movie first, it may affect what's it called?
Terms are hard.
Yes, terms are hard.
They
but
are.
The where you can like set aside
like bias? Like
kind of, but where you set aside that something isn't true, or, you know, something that obviously isn't true, you can like ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
It might affect that if you watch the movie first, but
okay.
Either way, I'm enjoying both of them. So
yeah,
it's dealer's choice.
Yeah. Hey, that's like best case scenario.
Oh yeah.
When you've got a book and a movie. And I thought this was just such an interesting way
mm-hmm.
to introduce a book, as, you know, with the movie and the author actually being a character in the film. So mm-hmm. it's really neat. I don't necessarily know that it's been done before.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. So
yeah.
I was excited when you picked it for this month.
Yeah, for sure. And they are not the same. Mm-hmm. So the characters are the same. Other than that, that's
totally
where the similar, completely mm-hmm. different stories. So you're not like watching the book on screen or vice versa.
Yeah. It's
just like they're companion pieces rather than the same thing rehashed.
That's really cool.
So, yeah.
It's super unique.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I recommend it.
Awesome. Well, I can't say the same for mine because mine is definitely usually done word for word,
mm-hmm.
Which I'm extremely grateful for because I'm such a Shakespeare nerd. Like, mm-hmm. I just... I got so excited when I was rereading this. So honestly, I've read this a million times,
mm-hmm.
But it's just so much fun, and it truly is one of my favorites. Now, my favorite is Richard III, but it's way darker. So we want to do something a little fun for mm-hmm. spring, and what better than
mm-hmm.
a comedy of errors, you know, just a play about love and all the silly things that can come from it.
Mm-hmm.
We have fairies. We have, you know, love triangles. We have all kinds of really fun
mm-hmm.
themes that run throughout A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not familiar with it, it revolves around the marriage of the Duke of Athens to the Queen of the Amazons. Mm-hmm. So we open with the marriage between Theseus and Hippolyta. Mm-hmm. And they're having these huge festivities surrounding their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a group of, they are a ragtag team of mechanical type people. So they have jobs like tailors and tinkers and builders.
Mm-hmm.
And they have formed a group of actors. And they want to put on a play for the new king and queen.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're following them. We're following Theseus and Hippolyta, and at the same time, we're also following the story of 4 Athenian lovers that are embroiled in all kinds of turmoil
mm-hmm. because
Helena and Hermia are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Hermia is betrothed to Demetrius, who she is not in love with, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. She is in love with another character, Lysander. And her best friend, Helena, is actually in love with Demetrius. So we have this little love thing going on, right? And before the wedding, Hermia's father brings her before Theseus and says, my child is being awful, and she will not marry the man I want her to marry. And at this, in this story, her choices are to either marry him, be put to death, or join a convent. So she quickly finds her best friend Helena and discusses with her love Lysander that they are going to run away. And they're going to go through the forest to Lysander's aunt's house and live happily ever after. Well, because of this plan, all of our characters end up in the woods. And in doing so, they stumble upon the realm of the fairies, who love nothing more than to meddle with human lives. And the fairies have their own thing going on, of course. So the king of the fairies and the queen of the fairies are having a disagreement over a child that the queen of the fairies has adopted. And the king wants him as his own, to use as his knight.
Okay.
And she's saying, no, I love this child. I want to raise him. So in order to embarrass the queen of the fairies, her husband decides that he's going to employ Robin Goodfellow, who is a hobgoblin type character, to create a magical potion in order to make anyone that instantly wakes up from having this potion rubbed on their eyelids instantly fall in love with whoever they see. And his plan is to have his wife, Titania, fall in love with an animal of the forest so that she'll be so embarrassed that she has to give in to his whim, or he'll, embarrass her in front of all of the fairies and all of the humans. And in doing so, we run into our actor, Nick Bottom, who is the perfect pawn that's for Robin Goodfellow. So he turns him into the head of a donkey. And of course, the humans, the fairies, everyone gets a touch of this love potion accidentally because comedy. So people are waking up falling in love with people they should not be falling in love with, and it leads to just all kinds of madness and just a really fun, wild story that ends on such a good note. So I don't want to give any spoilers in case you have not read this, but it is such like a fun, magical play that ends with just a really great feeling and blessings for everyone involved, and a really like magical feeling that even though all of these wild, crazy things have happened, it's nothing but a dream. So I definitely recommend this. I recommend Shakespeare to anyone and everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
And these copies we have at the library are phenomenal because it might be something that you're thinking, oh gosh, I really don't want to approach this, because of the way it's written, the language. But these Folger Shakespeare copies that we have so much description. The play is actually very small, so this has a lot of introduction. There's glossary, there's a dictionary, there's all kinds of things to help you along the way in the event that you're stuck with a word and you don't want to get on your phone. It's all right here. And of course there's all these wonderful film versions. So check out one of the film versions. We have those as well. We have the plays available on Canopy. So there's all kinds of ways that you can enjoy this, and I hope you guys pick it up.
Yeah, and I too love reading Shakespeare. One of the things that I like about it is there are phrases and things that we use on a daily basis that Shakespeare wrote them.
Absolutely amazing.
And so, you might have to slog a little bit until you get used to the language.
Yes.
But then you'll come across a little nugget that's like, oh, that's where that came from.
It really is amazing.
Yeah.
The things that people use in everyday language and don't know the origin of. And then here he is creating so many words that we use today in the English language, so many terms of phrase, were all because of him. And that last thing that Robin says in Act 5, Scene 1 that really ends the play, no more yielding but a dream. It's things that we hear all the time. And here it is, which is just great. So definitely check it out. Both of these were just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Fun reads. And there's a movie that you can watch, too, to get more information and see what this is about. So
yeah, because once you get into these stories, you're not going to want to leave.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because you've got the whimsy and you've got the spycraft.
Yeah, we have the spying, and the movie was so much fun, and you loved it when you came back.
Oh, yes,
so
it was so good.
This was an easy choice for this one. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of our podcast. We really love doing it, and we hope to see you next month. And we'll have a special guest next month.
Yes. One of the ladies who works in circulation, her name's Zania, and she's going to speak to us about a manga series.
Yeah, and I don't think we've done a manga yet, so
I don't think so.
We're going to kind of introduce y'all to manga, and if you aren't familiar, and she picked a really great one, so we're excited to talk about that and have a special guest. So we will see you guys next month. Bye.
Bye.